Hey there, film fans. I'm Jeff.
I'm Dave.
And I'm John, and welcome back to The Love of Cinema, a pod in which we'll challenge one another to discuss the movies, both new and old, with a strictly positive critical eye.
That's right, and to avoid lazy negativity, we've decided to make this episode a drinking game. So anytime we say anything negative at all about this film, about each other, about how the best exercise fuel for Dave is a leaf full of cocaine, you're going to hear this sound. That sound means we're taking a drink, and we hope you drink along with us.
So pour yourselves a glasses for the whole show. Jeff holds a red flower in his mouth.
Oh, cheers.
Jeff, is that a sippy cup?
I've used this for the majority of our last 30 episodes. I have to carry it downstairs. So yes, I have a plastic Beacon Theater sippy cup of whiskey so that I don't bring glass into this shared space and shatter it during our
Was it $50 to fill, just like at the Beacon Theater?
No. Yeah, fuck you. If you're new to the show, welcome. We're The Love of Cinema. Today, we're talking about 1973's, I believe I'm saying this correctly, Papillon?
Papillon.
Papillon?
Papillon? Or Papillon, if you're reading it on IMDb and you don't know what you're talking about. 1973, Steve McQueen, Dustin Hoffman. Why are we doing this? Because the random year generator spun 1973, a year we've been to before. I did the list last time. Can you guys name all the movies we have talked about from the year 1973 on past episodes?
No, I can't.
We've done The Sting.
Yeah.
We've done Live and Let Die.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Was that year?
Yeah. Guys, we've done Soylent Green, right?
We did Soylent Green. That was a very drunk episode, yeah.
And have we also done American Graffiti?
We did.
No.
We paired American Graffiti with
We did?
Toxic Avenger. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
we did
Toxic Avenger.
I still
and
remember.
You might not
yes,
remember this, but we did The Exorcist.
Did we?
Oh, yeah. There was one episode, 1973, when we were doing 3 movies a week during COVID. Can you imagine doing 3 movies a week? And we got so drunk talking about them. We did The Exorcist, Enter the Dragon, and Was It Really That Bad?
Enter the
Was Live or Let Die. That's right.
Enter the Dragon.
Dude, when we started, we used to do 5.
Yeah, but it's every 2 weeks. But
lasted
yes,
for 2 weeks.
It was terrible. And
Yeah,
we just
that was,
exhausted anybody that listened to us. Anyway, okay. We're going to talk about the year 1973, what was
That
going
still
on,
happens.
other amazing movies that came out this year, a little bit of context. So stick with us. We are a drinking show. We like to get drinking. But if you just want to hear us talk about Papillon, that's why you're here. I understand. Check the show notes, check the chapters, scoot ahead a little bit. We'll be a little drunker than we are now, ready to talk about this movie. But we're not there yet. John's got a mini review. We'll give you our what you've been watching at the end of this episode. We're winding down 2025 if you're listening to us in real time. But before we shout our sponsors out, we're going to do our usual thing where we tell you what we think about our experience watching Papillon. Did we love it? Did we hate it? Did we think it was full of shit? Did we think it was okay? And if you're watching us on YouTube, that little icon is going to be right next to us for the entire episode. So we have to live with our vote.
And may change depending on how the discussion goes.
And we have had a few changes. We've only changed up so far. We've never changed back down because we are the love of cinema. Are you guys ready to vote on what were your thoughts of Soylent? Oh, sorry, not Soylent Green. Fucking hell.
Well, it's people. Sorry, spoiler.
Papillon. Are you ready? Dave, do the honors.
1, 2, 3.
Nice.
Oh, John and Dave gave it a great, which is essentially a 4 out of 5. And I gave it it was okay, which is basically 3 out of 5. You want to know why? You got to sit through it. People, you got to sit through this episode, get us drinking. John's going to shout our sponsors out. He's got a mini review. Anything else you want to say?
I'm gonna lobby for a 6th little voting block that is just good. So it goes from it was okay to good to great to gold star. I'm just putting it out there because I think
Dave,
that's
you
where
got
I would
work
have
to do.
landed initially at the top of the episode. I think I would have voted on a good for
John
right
said,
now.
Dave, please do more work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make John stay on the call and show him how long it takes to do that.
We can hang out and talk about stuff. We can catch up.
Yeah.
John, shout our sponsors out.
I can
Let's
call
get
you
it
all
going.
sorts of things.
Carlos Barroso makes beer. See Barroso.beer. It's in the show notes. You've heard his name. Carlos, give me brews. We also have a musician, artist in residence named Dasein. Dasein makes music. He gives it to us for free. It's on all of the usual music platforms. His music, if you want to just go there, he's got albums galore, hours and hours of amazing music available to you wherever you listen to music. Go and download Dasein, Tasein.
Yeah.
All right, let's
But let me
fucking do it.
before you do your mini review, let me do one more thing. We don't have to get too much into it because I'm sure everybody's gonna be talking about it, and it's a weird conversation to start this early. But the number one television show, I'm teasing this from our 1973 year in review segment. Can you guys guess what was the number one TV show from 1973 to 1974 for that year? But specifically, like September of 1973, what was the number one show?
If you're doing this because of why I think you're doing this,
Yep.
is it All in the Family?
Yep.
Today, folks, anyone who's listening to this out of context, we got to raise our glasses to one of the greats, Rob Reiner,
The great.
and his wife died yesterday in a really horrific way. And we don't need to go into the details and stuff, but it is fucking weird in this town right now. It feels very strange, so horrible. I don't think a murder has been that horrific and caught the zeitgeist in the same way since Sharon Tate. And this one's more personal because there's family involved.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a horrific murder in
Well,
Hollywood.
I mean,
that doesn't happen.
Everybody
often to Rob.
associates him with some movie that affected their life greatly. So it's like having a little piece of you ripped away.
If you're a millennial or Gen X, that guy defined some of your childhood. One of those 4 movies touched you deeply, and you probably had it on VHS at home, and you probably rewatched it a bunch. Stand By Me. What is it? Stand By Me, Princess Bride, Misery, A Few Good Men. Is that the 4 in a row?
Yeah, I mean, I think When Harry Met Sally.
When Harry Met
When
Sally.
Harry Met Sally,
the 5.
Yeah.
Holy crap, right?
Yeah,
and then he went on
probably
to
a little ahead of us, but still, same thing.
Let's just say he got it right a lot.
He also brought, I don't want to give him the sole credit, but him and his company, Castle Rock, shout out to the Stephen King world that they took that name from. They brought fucking Seinfeld to the air and created an entire universe of influence over culture with that show as well by helping facilitate that. Good God Almighty. So sad. I'm so sad. This has been so weird learning
It's
about
been
that.
a really bad couple of days, and I'm kind of mad.
Yeah. Hopefully he's not defined by him and his wife are not defined by the way it ended, because those movies, especially for those of us growing up in the 90s and 2000s, they were on reruns all the time. But the Stand By Me, when that came on, you just couldn't turn it off. You're like, when is the vomit scene? When do they find the dead body? Any River Phoenix scene, the emotional, like you just can't stop watching it. And John, I knew you were a very serious film person, when I met you in college, but I knew one thing about you, which is you fucking loved The Princess Bride, and you had seen it 100 times.
Of course, dude. Yeah, that was a big influence on me.
That's like the benchmark if you're going to be friends with someone or not. Do you like The Princess Bride? Okay, no, fuck off.
Yeah, if you think that's funny, if you think The Princess Bride and the Muppets are funny, we can be friends. I'm glad you said that about I hope this will be defined. I'll just say this and I'll shut up. Before my mentor, Jamie Foley, passed away that we mentioned earlier this year, he made a comment to me, and I may have said it on the show, and I'm sorry, about how he worked with Gene Hackman and knew him. And he said he felt so bad and he was so frustrated by how everyone was talking about the end of Gene Hackman's life, because it would have pissed Gene Hackman off so much for people to be like talking about his life like it was defined by that terrible way that he was found in his house. Like that is not how he would have wanted to go down or want people to talk about his legacy. So I'm so happy in a sense. Happy's not the right word, but I'm grateful in a sense that everyone who seems to be commenting on what this absolute nightmare that has occurred with Rob Reiner and his wife, that everyone is talking about his life in politics, activism, art, and entertainment, and not focusing on the horror of how he died.
Yeah.
Anyway, one more time for Rob Reiner.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. Well, let's get into
his wife.
What do you think?
They met on When Harry Met Sally. She was a BTS photographer.
What a story that is.
Still, yeah, it's so cool. Cute. Michelle? I'm so sorry. Let's get her name right, you guys. What's her name, Michelle?
You're looking it up.
We're all looking it up right now? Yeah, we are. Michelle Singer Reiner. So I'm calling her out as well. She was a victim as well. It was not just him. Fucking horrible. All right. Cheers. Oh my God, you'll be missed.
All right.
Okay. Ready for a super uplifting review after that terrible tragedy? I saw Hamnet, the happiest movie of the year. No, I'm being a little hard on it. It is like all of her films.
Chloé Zhao?
It is a very sad film and a very good film. And you should go to the theater and you should see it in the theater. This is another one. I'm just going to say it, folks. I just don't have enough faith in the at-home audience to press play and have the discipline to sit in the stillness and the authenticity and the realism that she tries to create. That is the word that I'm going to walk away with, at least for the first viewing. I had a lot of thoughts going into this just because the IP is kind of familiar.
The book,
fucking Shakespeare,
Hamlet, but then there's the book, right?
Hamlet and the book, and I wasn't familiar with the book, but I mean, come on, the familiarity is impossible not to have some kind of preconceived notions going in. My biggest compliment to her is the authenticity of place and time. It felt very real, and what a compliment to give a filmmaker. I don't want to say anything else about it. I think you should just go see it and let it kind of wash over you. The performances are fantastic too. So just go watch it. The acting is tip top. Jessie Buckley is the shit. Paul Mescal has proven himself, I think, but I'm excited for her. I think she's finally where she deserves to be. I am a huge fan of Jessie Buckley's, and Paul Mescal is amazing as well. And the kids are a very surprising, wonderful performance. The children are great. Anyway, really good. Go see it.
She's the lead of Men, right? John and I did that episode of Men, which is a great episode.
Did that, and I know she's about to pop in Bride.
Yeah.
Gyllenhaal, Maggie Gyllenhaal's next film starring Christian Bale and Jessie Buckley about some spin on a contemporary version of The Bride of Frankenstein. Let's go. We'll see that for sure, right?
Yeah, and she's been in a number of things. But anyway, she's great. Okay, Oscar nominee.
Chernobyl, dude. Chernobyl.
Fucking Chernobyl.
God, she's so good in Chernobyl. All right.
Women talking. I forget what her Oscar nominations for. I'll remember it at some point. All right. Dave, any news? Anything you want to shout out? Do you want to talk about the AI shit that's going on at Disney, or you want to move on? What do you think? What's going on?
Oh my God.
I think we'll move on. I'm just Disney often surprises me in who they don't sue. Like
okay.
I'm actually surprised, like, because like I can tell a story of a little backwater studio that was trying to make a show to show in shopping centers, and it was a little too close to a certain movie called Monsters Inc. And 3 days before it went on, Disney Legal called them. Somehow they found out about it. And they, like, to their credit, they told them how to alter the show so they could still put it on and not lose money.
Right.
But like these performers that you have in Times Square, where Mickey Mouse is standing there with his head off having a cigarette and shit, and I'm like, how have those guys? I mean, how have they not had been sued into fucking oblivion?
Yeah.
Like, what's the deal there?
Let's just say one sentence that is important, and we don't need to get into the weeds on the news. Disney has single-handedly anointed the company that they want to be the tip of the spear for AI in Hollywood. And it's OpenAI. Big surprise there. They have chosen them, and they are suing everybody else.
Okay.
I feel like that's the gist, right? That's the essence of this story. They are choosing to the enemy, kind of thing.
So
I think this is the beginning of the end. What the fuck are they doing? But that's just me.
All the AI companies are losing money, but this is also during the Netflix, Paramount, HBO debacle, MGM's Amazon, and then Disney makes a deal with AI. It's AI is also big in the stock market, right?
Dude, have you seen the first?
Keeps going up. So
have you seen the first lot of images?
Because this also comes out within a month of them doubling the price of their parks.
They're also still in a suit with Warner Brothers and Comcast against Midjourney.
Yeah, so
it's them choosing AI as you're going to be the ones that we're investing in.
But is it just it just a business stock market thing? It has nothing to do with the consumer, right? It's just.
I've seen some of the videos that have been created already, and they don't want this. They do not want this.
Yeah, you've asked for this. We all love Disney. Come on, legacy company. We shit on the big corporations sometimes, but of course, Disney is an incredible company that has made a lot of amazing stuff, very successful over a very long period of time. You reap what you sow, and I hope they don't regret this. I hope they don't regret this, and I hope we don't regret the choice they've made for everyone, because I think they have now created a trend, and I bet other studios are going to fall in line. Well, I doubt each studio is going to get behind some different company. I doubt that's going to happen.
If you want to do your own Obi-Wan Kenobi journey, rather than AI, why don't you just make a fucking video game? This is what video games are. You have the Obi-Wan video game, and you can do all the side quests, and you could do shit. So why is it instead? It's because none of the actors want this. Anyway, whatever.
Anyway, we're getting off track.
And Dick Van Dyke just turned 100, so the news, especially around Disney, is fucking swirling.
Yeah.
He posted that ab video. He's fucking doing his crunches.
That guy is such an inspiration.
I can't do as many crunches as Dick Van Dyke at 100. I am shamed.
Amazing. Amazing.
All right.
Really great.
So, should we get to 1973?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Again, we're going to talk about Papillon after we get through this opening segment here. So, again, scoot ahead if you want to get to Papillon, but this is going to be some fun shit, and we got to get drinking and talking about 1973, a fantastic year at the movies. We like to start with the box office, though. So, you, too, gets a guess. We already named a lot of movies from this year. John's going to know this. So, Dave, what was the highest grossing movie of 1973? And I looked at the numbers for this.
Was it Exorcist?
Yo, Dave! Oh my God. Why is my gosh not working? Dave, what the fuck?
I don't know. You want me to push it? There you go.
Yeah, that's what she said.
You're having troubles with your panels.
That's what she said. Yes, absolutely, Dave. Come through. The Exorcist. John, what's your stat about The Exorcist? Go ahead, run your numbers off.
My stat is that back then, if it is adjusted for today's dollars, it would have made well over $1 billion. I think it sits between like 1.2 and 1 point something else in today's money. So it made 308. Is that what you have on the numbers as well? I have it a little over 300 million.
You know what? Because of because of the numbers, though, I feel like they're only looking at domestic, but whatever.
Right. Yeah. Which is, insane. Right. I mean, international, I think it made more like 430, which is,
oh my God.
We're going higher than most movies have ever made. Like the Tip Top, the Titanics, the Marvel, the most successful Marvels. Exorcist was living up there. And this is not a wide audience movie. That's why it's so incredible.
Right.
It's not any of the other movies in terms of when you talk about the quadrants.
Linda Blair wasn't even allowed to watch it.
What does that mean, you guys?
Yes.
That means there were rewatches. It was in the movies for like a year. It's in the theaters for like a year.
Sure,
people would be going to work going, you've got to come see this movie. And then sitting there and watching them
see it like 6
watch
times.
the movie. Yeah.
But isn't that incredible? I just think we can't celebrate that.
It was the 1970s,
there were
Two
no
Girls, One
children
Cup.
going to this. There was just a great stat today about how, fuck you. Jeff, I'm sure you saw this on the Daily's newsletter that we both get.
Yeah.
Zootopia 2 is the
fastest,
first animation movie to, as quickly as this, cross the billion mark, which is awesome. Good job. Good for them.
Half of that's
This
China.
movie does not have 5 tickets at a time being purchased because you're bringing your fucking kids and you're right.
Yeah.
This is just one person, maybe 2 people.
Also, there were no premium screenings back then.
And
yes, dude. Sure. Yes. Yeah, for sure. Movies cost like $3 back then. Like,
think about
and
this.
they made $308 million domestic. It's insane.
Just think about this. According to what I'm looking at, maybe the number's even more. 109 million tickets were sold.
I was just about to look that up. I'm so glad you had that.
But my number is 193,000. That might just be domestic from its first run. So at this ticket price, if you see 300 million, you're talking about over 200 million tickets being sold. Just think about what the average cost of a ticket is today, especially
I'm doing it
with
right
some
now.
using
109
premium
tickets.
formats. Yeah, this would be a multi-billion-dollar movie for sure. The Exorcist, not a Marvel movie.
Nope.
The fucking Exorcist, where the girl spins her head around and throws up all green.
Yeah. The bed shakes.
Oh my God, it's so good. All right, well, we can move on.
I'm trying to look that up. How many 193 million movie tickets sold today would yield what? That would be
crazy. Yeah.
And if you were to go conservative, like
somewhere between, it's having trouble estimating this because there's a wide range depending on where you live, but it is somewhere between 2.2 and a little over $3 billion.
For the
So
Exorcist.
that's a better stat than actually just adjusting for inflation. It's tickets sold.
Yeah.
Because of how many motherfuckers went back to the theater over and over and over again to see this goddamn insane, crazy rated R movie. Or I don't think they had a rating system yet. That was Star Wars, right? That introduced that? Or Jaws? E.T.? Who introduced E.T.?
I don't know, because ours would have definitely gotten an NC-17 for sure. Although it
was E.T., right?
When did named. No, E.T. became PG-13 started in the 80s, but they had R and G and stuff back then.
What was The Exorcist? It was a rated R?
I would hope so.
I'm pretty sure.
This is not an episode about The Exorcist, but we're enjoying talking about it.
Okay. Number 2, The Sting. According to the list here that I have in the numbers. Number 3, this surprised me a little bit. American Graffiti. Number 3.
I don't know, man. That soundtrack, no surprise there, right? That shit is on fire. Yeah.
Oh my God. And just people nostalgic for driving around. And guess what? People in the 70s still
that was what you did.
Went to diners. Yeah, they probably had a lot of places in the 70s that looked exactly like American Graffiti. Which
it was either that or Watch All in the Family.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. Number 4, Papillon, guys. Papillon comes in at
Hell
number
yeah.
4. This is also just
that's
fucking
cool.
star power, guys. Steve McQueen, Dustin Hoffman. You can't understate that. Incredible.
Yeah,
Number 5, The Way We Were.
that's a great movie.
Number 5. And to round out the top 10, number 6, Magnum Force. Number 7, Dave's favorite movie of all time, Live and Let Die. Number 8, probably my favorite movie this year, Disney's Robin Hood, Texas. Number 9, Paper
Dave,
Moon.
I sent you that GIF today. Dave, I sent you that GIF today, dude. The taxes.
Texas. And number 10, Serpico. Serpico comes in at number 10 according to my list. A couple other movies that made some money: Jesus Christ Superstar, Enter the Dragon. Of course, Bruce Lee would pass away before this film was released, very tragically. So we didn't see the success of this film.
So weird.
Sleeper, The Day of the Jackal, The Last Detail, Jack, and Battle for the Planet of the Apes is another movie that I will mention. Any other movies that you want to shout out that came out this year?
Yeah, I think this year is maybe one of the most important years in film history, if nothing else, because 3 movies came out this year that those filmmakers ended up defining their generation. I feel comfortable saying that.
Oh, yeah.
Mean Streets by Martin Scorsese, Badlands by Terrence Malick, and Sugarland Express, which technically didn't hit theaters until 74, but was reviewed, I think, in 73.
I don't think I've seen any of those.
Wait, really?
Unreal that those movies came out in the same year, or at least were revealed in the same year. I definitely want to call out Hal Ashby's The Last Detail.
You said American Graffiti in that list, right, with 3?
He did not.
No, I didn't. But George, it's almost hard. Like, yes, that movie we should not attach it to George Lucas but it's almost like that movie was not like the precursor to Star. You know what I mean? Like in a sense, it's not like
Star Wars. I know,
but he only directed.
Movie, but
he directed like 3-4 movies after Graffiti, the first Star Wars and the 90s Star Wars,
because he realized he couldn't go off and he realized he couldn't go off and direct movies and then rely on his visual effects department.
I know. You're totally right. I'm fucking with you. It's important. How about the animated kids version of Charlotte's Web? That movie.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That mattered to me. Fellini's Armor Corps, brought to you by Roger Corman's company. They used to buy some international films, and that launched his international presence, at least in America, in the Americas, in the English-speaking companies. Armor Corps, Day for Night, Truffaut. And then there was Scarecrow. I thought we should mention that.
Scarecrow was a Palme d'Or winner, and I actually read Al Pacino's book. And John and I saw Scarecrow one time when we lived with Dave, but I think Dave had his 6 a.m. calls at the time.
So I just listened to it.
Al Pacino did The Godfather and was so uncomfortable with being a movie star, and he missed doing like the drug movie he did right before this, which was it Jeremy Allen White?
Panic in Needle Park.
Yeah, Jeremy Allen White like used that as a reference for something recently. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, Scarecrow was just basically Gene Hackman and Al Pacino. They started on the side of the road trying to like pick up a car and then have this friendship. It's a weird movie. Honestly, Gene Hackman outacts Al Pacino in this, but it's this weird buffer when Al Pacino like ran away from Hollywood and New York after The Godfather because he was so uncomfortable with the success of it. And then they had to like track him down to get him to do Serpico, fucking Godfather Part 2, and Dog Day Afternoon in the next 3 years. But yeah, the Scarecrow, this fucking indie basically did after that.
Okay, I have a couple more. I'm so sorry. I just want to call these out. Peter Bogdanovich's Paper Moon, which is, I have not seen that movie, but it's supposed to be very solid. His career did not continue ascending the way I think a lot of people thought it was. And I think, unfortunately, it's because of the Star Wars thing. Like those kinds of movies just took over.
Sure.
His kinds of movies were no longer as successful. Jesus Christ Superstar, I would say that was pretty impactful.
Dude, when I was growing up, they used to show that every year at Easter on TV.
Yeah, I'm freaking out. This is such a good year. Nicholas Roeg's Don't Look Now, starring Julie Christie and Donald Sutherland. Unfucking real. There is a crazy sex scene in here. There's a crazy mirror scene in here. This is a nuts movie. It is a difficult watch, but it is worth watching, and I think your jaw is going to be kind of hanging open for quite a bit of it. I also definitely wanted to call out, because the Knives Out movie just came out, right? And I still haven't watched it, but the third one just came out. And I got to see in school, Rian Johnson came and hosted a screening of one of his favorite contemporary whodunits. And it is a movie called The Last of Sheila. Get this, you guys. Co-written by Stephen Sondheim and Anthony Perkins. This movie is awesome.
That's a
and it takes place on a
collaboration.
yacht. It is fucking awesome. You should watch it. You're going to enjoy it. If you like the Knives Out, you're going to love this.
I think that's why
It was so
Sondheim
good.
Ryan Johnson was at my
in-
work this week for Knives Out. They had a screening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
They
my
would.
God.
They wouldn't let me
Very
work
cool.
it though because I made a joke about slapping him for Last Jedi. So I got put on another show.
Well,
Ryan
was it-
Johnson. Sorry.
Was it Lives of Sheila? Well, I mean,
The Last of Sheila.
The Last of Sheila. Stephen Sondheim was in Glass Onion in that like Zoom call that that Daniel Craig has, but they actually sing a Sondheim song in the first movie. I think Daniel Craig's in the car and they're like sending the clouds. or
He's
something.
Ryan Johnson. The way he was talking about it, he was very, very aware. I'm repeating myself. I think I told you guys this story when I was at that screening, but it's such a fun anecdote. He got to know Sondheim when he started making these Glass Onions because he found out after being obsessed with The Last of Sheila and getting into these whodunits that Sondheim was infamous for having these parties at his apartment that were elaborate whodunits. He would create these crazy scenarios at his party, just like some of the, like the Ed Norton character does, like in the second one. He would create these amazing hours long, nights long, sometimes events at his
Into his
penthouses
famous
in the
dungeon.
sky in New York City. I
Not
mean,
penthouse.
I
Yeah,
just
he
think
lived,
that's
he lived
so
in Turtle
fun.
Bay. He lived in like a typical brownstone, but it had multiple levels and like a courtyard and stuff.
It was probably badass, though. We can agree.
Oh,
right?
fuck yeah. But he bought it like after
Yeah.
Gypsy and like just lived in it forever. Anyway, okay. A little award
Super
stuff
cool.
going on this year. William Friedkin won the Golden Globe for Best Director for The Exorcist, but he did also just win the Oscar for The French Connection, so they weren't going to let him have it too easy. Truffaut would win the BAFTA this year for Day for Night, but the Academy Awards decided to go The Sting Best Picture, The Sting Best Director for George Roy Hill. But they spread the wealth out. This is one of the best categories of all time. I say this, one of the best categories for, especially for acting. Jack Lemmon would win for Save the Tiger, not a movie that
Save the
came up so
Tiger.
far, but he just
Yeah.
casually beat Marlon Brando for Last Tango in Paris, Jack Nicholson for The Last Detail, Al Pacino for Serpico, and Robert Redford for The Sting.
Serpico.
Just a casual little category.
We should have mentioned Serpico.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Serpico, speaking of Serpico, Al Pacino would win the Golden Globe, but I'm so sorry. Like I just said, Jack Lemmon would win the Oscar. We didn't mention Walter Matthau, who was in Pete and Tilly, which won the BAFTA. Glenda
That's on my watch
Jackson,
list.
Glenda Jackson, which has the Triple Crown, she has the Triple Crown, would win Best Actress for A Touch of Class. Supporting actor would go to John Houseman for The Paper Chase, and supporting actress would go to Tatum O'Neal for Paper Moon. That's a pretty deserving win there.
She's a fucking child.
A child, yeah.
She's like 6 in that or something. It's
But
like
it's a famous, I mean, deserving in the sense that it's a known, talked about thing. Not deserving as if she actually
Yeah,
deserved it,
yeah.
but it's one
No,
that
I
we
mean,
talk about a lot. Here's my favorite
it's great.
Oscar story, though, and then I'll move on into we'll finish the movie section here. My favorite Oscar story is this: Marvin Hamlish won 3 Oscars this year for music, which is not possible anymore. He won for Best Song, The Way They Were, from the movie The Way They Were. Best
He wrote
Music.
that?
Yeah,
Whoa.
dude. Yeah.
I didn't know
And then he
that.
obviously
Wow.
didn't write the lyrics. Best music for original dramatic score for The Way We Were. And he also won, this is the name of the category. Are you ready? Best music scoring, original song score and adaptation or scoring, adaptation.
They covered all the bases.
What the
And that one he
fuck?
won for, that is the actual name of the category. He won that one for
Yeah.
The Sting because he scored the fucking Sting too. So
Imagine
Marvin
the
Marvin
poor
Hamlish won
bastard who had
3
engraved that on a
Oscars
statue.
in 1973. All of these
Yeah,
he
that is,
obviously worked on in 72, 73. And then he called his agent and said, hold all of my offers because I'm going to move back to New York and work on an off-Broadway musical that as of right now doesn't have a script or a source material and only has one person attached to it. It's just an idea and a recording. And his agent was so fucking mad because he just won 3 Oscars for 2 different movies. So everybody in Hollywood was calling this fucking agent. And instead, he moved into a basement apartment and started working on A Chorus Line, which would premiere
Yeah,
2 years later and made him and his agent a whole lot of money,
Yeah.
which opened 50 years ago this year. 3 Oscars and then immediately just moved back to New York and started working in off-Broadway theater. How about that? Okay,
That's awesome. Good for him. That's badass.
but they had to get rid of that category. What the fuck was that category?
That's not a category.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not even
That's
a-
why the Oscars
What
used to be
the
so
fuck is
long.
that?
Like all the titles were that like 6 fucking lines.
I always say this, but I promise this time I'm going to go quickly through some world events. Again, 1973, a very weird fucking year. Reagan was just reelected and started his second term. He just started his second term here. So he had
73.
No,
not Reagan. Sorry, Nixon. Nixon started his second term.
Yeah.
He was reelected in 72.
Can't even get those fuckers' names right. Come on.
Honestly, Reagan, Nixon.
Yeah.
Reagan
Fair.
talks quietly, but
I can't say these things anymore because I've got to give the government 5 years of social media.
through Wall Street, he did to the American people what Nixon did to Vietnam. So here we go. Anyway, okay. Life expectancy was 71 years at birth. I didn't know this. How about this? Are you ready? This is 1973. For the first time in U.S. history, women were allowed to serve on juries in all 50 states.
what the fuck?
1973. Life expectancy 71.
Have
Back
you,
in the year
wow.
1973.
have you seen the date for when women are allowed to open a bank account in their own name? It's a lot closer than you'd
Sorry.
expect.
Is it also the 70s?
I think it was the 80s.
But also,
God damn.
but other good things happened this year. How about this? Walkie-talkies were popular Christmas gifts.
Yeah, they were.
Oh, that makes up for it. Yeah.
Stovetop stuffing.
All those women can collude in secret.
Yes, that's right.
kidding,
They're just talking
kidding.
to each other. No men actually had this. It was just women. Stovetop stuffing first appeared on grocery store shelves. And the average tuition, this is going to make you guys sad. The average tuition at a 4-year public college was $358.
Why would that make me sad, dude? If I go back to school now, it's like a fucking Rodney Dangerfield movie.
That's a semester. Yeah. It was $1,500 at a... It was $1,500 at a private school. Unemployment
Wow.
tripled this year, probably because we fucking reelected Nixon. So it tripled from 3% to 9%. Sorry, that was inflation. Unemployment was high though at 5.6. The average family income was $12,900, which is
That is high.
not great. And Kramer versus Kramer, towards the end of this, he was making $38,000 a year, and they said that wasn't enough. This is $12,000 was the average family income in 1973. A new house cost around $32,000. A retail price of a gallon of gas was 39 cents. Minimum wage was $1.60.
Which is now the deposit for a house if you're lucky.
Yeah.
If you're fucking lucky.
And I'm not going to do too many
32,000?
prices because I know it's hard to listen on a movie podcast where we drink, but a couple words came into play here in 1973. Automated teller machine. You could call it ATM, but remember, automated teller machine, first introduced as a series of words put together in 1973. No ATMs before 1973. Crazy glue, detox, duct tape, food processor, gentrified, hot tub, pepper jack cheese, pickleball. Guys, fucking pickleball. Pro-choice.
What?
It came out in the
Soccer mom,
70s and then
T-bill,
disappeared.
televangelist, trauma-centered, and guess what? Video game. All appeared in print for the first time. Video game had never appeared in print before 1973. I'm going to skip some of this other shit here. But because inflation was so high, Ford, GM, and Chrysler laid off 100,000 people. So again, it was not a great time. The 70s in New York was a fucking terrible time. There was also an oil embargo. So we hear about it. We heard about it later in the decade with Jimmy Carter and the 55 mile an hour and all that kind of shit. But OPEC did have an oil embargo this year, mostly because of the major spending in the Vietnam War. Okay. Let's get on to some fun shit. What else do I want to say?
My mind is a little blown that duct tape didn't exist before this year.
Or if they did,
How did they hold the CO2 filter together in Apollo 13?
Wait, that's a really good point. What did they call that?
What was that thing? What was that tape? I guess they had other tape.
Probably
but
Ron
aircraft tape.
Howard, you son of a bitch.
Life before duct tape. Come on, I don't
Before
even want
duct
to
tape.
think about it. Sorry, keep going.
How about this? Martin Cooper invented the first handheld mobile phone.
Holy shit.
It took two hands, but it was still handheld.
It was a giant bag.
Yeah. Nathaniel Wyeth received a patent for shatter-resistant beverage bottles, which I believe means aluminum.
Plastic.
And-
aluminum. I was like,
Or plastic.
aluminum.
Maybe,
What could
maybe
that be?
plastic. Shit, well, either one. Not glass. And Carl Sondheimer invented the Cuisinart. How about that?
Wow.
Um,
God damn.
How about this? This is a good one. You ready?
Which Cuisinart? I feel like there's a whole, that's a line, isn't it?
Well,
What
the
is
first one.
the
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
okay.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
wait.
looking
You have to
it
guess
up.
this. You have to guess this. The first car to have airbags came out in 1973. We're talking about American Graffiti. The first
Wow.
car to have airbags. Can you guess the make? You don't have to say the model of the car that had the first airbags in 1973.
A Volvo.
I have no idea. I don't
The
know.
Oldsmobile Tornado was the first car, the Tornado, to have airbags. How great is that? A lot of air in that Tornado getting thrown around.
The Tornado. That's
the first
hilarious.
MRI was invented. MRI, magnetic resistance imaging. Sears Tower opened in Chicago. And guess what, Dave? The Sydney Opera House opened in Sydney, 1973.
Hey, and speaking of the Sydney Opera House, wait, I'm going to fuck this up, but didn't that architect, it was not him? Okay, never mind. It was not him. The dude who made the fucking Disney concert hall. That giant architect who passed away this past week. I thought he did the fucking Sydney Opera House.
I don't know.
It was Jorn Utzon.
Okay, cool. Sounds Australian. Popular Christmas gifts include anti-monopoly Raleigh chopper bikes. John Raleigh, Jasper, North Carolina. Dungeons and Dragons, Penty, and Shrinky Dinks were popular Christmas gifts. Popular baby names were down to 8.
Hold on, wait. What the fuck is a Shrinky Dink?
It's those things you put in the oven and they shrink down. They come like this
serious?
big and it shrink. Yeah. They're called Shrinky Dinks.
What is it, though? I don't even know what you're referring to. What is it?
You can put them on keychains. You can put them on, like, bracelets.
Oh, it's not food.
No.
But you have to cook, we have to cook
Jesus, don't eat that thing. It's made of fucking shrinkable plastic. That'll kill you.
Wow. Plastic.
Was that like the chia pet of your time, of your early childhood?
I mean, yeah, it was a family activity, man. You'd pull out the Shrinky Dinks, put them in, watch them shrink. You'd be sitting there staring in the oven.
Sure.
Yeah.
The Second Caveman channel. Yeah, I got it. Wow.
Second Caveman
Weird.
channel.
I've never heard of that.
Anyway, popular baby names were Amy, Jennifer, Kimberly, Michelle, Christopher, James, Jason, and Michael. Not you. You guys are off the list again. You guys are off the list.
That's too bad.
I'm going to skip prices except to say that I'm going to skip prices except to say that they had Canfield's draft root beer, Chop Suey meat, Chun King egg rolls, Drew Rees beer, and Green Giant Niblets corn were all on the list. But what do these prices mean? Nothing to me. I've been drinking. The most popular TV series, I already did it All in the Family, so I'll do 6 to 2. Maude was 6, Hawaii Five-0 was 5, MASH on CBS was 4, Sanford and Son on NBC was 3, and number 2 was The Waltons. Cool pop music artists.
Shows.
Yeah,
there's some good ones.
Cool pop music artists from 6 down to 1. The Carpenters were number 6. Number 5, Bobby Womack. He did not. That didn't. I don't remember. I don't know him at all. Billy Preston, number 4. Check it out. Riding off that Beatles fame. He signed with Apple Records. Number 3, Barry White. Come on, what a voice.
Yeah.
Number 2, Aretha Franklin, and number 1, Al Green. Now that top 2, especially. Yeah, top 3. Pretty damn
whole lot
cool.
of fucking
top 4,
going on in 1973,
going on
baby.
here. Especially that Carpenter's drummer I hear. Anyway, and then I'm going to finish it up here with food and beverage trivia. Food and beverage trivia, as always, is how we're going to bring 1973's trivia to a close. We're going to start with my 10-second drum roll here. Number 10, Pasta Primavera. Number 9, I really like this. A kugel. I have had this,
just
but it's
in general.
I don't know if I'm eating something called a kugel. So,
Yeah, it was released by
You never
Kraft
came to
in
a restaurant
71.
and tried it?
No.
The noodle kugel, Jewish?
The noodle kugel is the shit. But yeah,
I
this
assume
is
that's
actually
what this is.
It is, but this one actually got popular from Kraft in 1971, which is a peanut spread in flavors like cinnamon, banana, vanilla, and chocolate. So it's a little different than the noodle kugel that we used to have, which is fucking great.
Okay.
Number 8, Jell-O salads. Number 7,
Dude.
Dude. Yeah. Number 7.
That's how we knew we were in the evil timeline.
Hungry Man frozen entrees. Hungry Man frozen
I've had at least 2 of those lifetime.
Number 6, Hamburger Helper. That's a defending champion here. Deviled eggs.
It was a Hamburger Helper economy. That year was a Hamburger Helper economy. I remember that daily episode.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Number 5, deviled eggs. Number 4, crepes.
Deviled eggs.
Crepes.
Yeah. Yes.
Deviled
Number
eggs
3,
also wrong.
cheese. This sounds like something David like. Cheese balls and logs.
Yeah.
It's actually not a food I would have ever guessed to have find on any list. Cheese balls and logs.
The logs were easy. You had to work the balls.
Okay.
Number 2 is carrot cake.
Yes.
Not
Love
my favorite,
carrot
but
cake.
knock yourself out. And number 1, the number 1 food and beverage trend from 1973, according to this site, is the Black Forest cake. Black Forest cake.
Not his first time around the block. That thing has been around.
Not one of my favorites.
Ages.
All right.
Oh,
people.
come on. You don't like a black forest? Is it too rich?
No, I just don't like cherries.
Oh, come on. It's so good. It really hides the flavor. It creates so much depth. And the first Cuisinart was the food processor.
Yeah, sure.
Classic. I thought it may have been the the fucking mixer you give everybody for their wedding.
Oh my God. Did you know what I found? Do you know what I found out this week?
Mixer.
Everybody wants a, yeah.
I found out the true story of the MSG thing that happened. And like, I found out I've been living a lie my entire life.
I don't even know what you're referring to. What are you talking
MSG,
about?
monosodium glutamate that they put on food.
Yeah.
They still put on food.
You just fired that out.
It's delicious.
So quickly.
All
My
Szechuan food.
In Australia, it was basically banned as far as I knew.
Yeah.
Glutamate?
Glutamate, yeah.
He was ready with the chemicals.
And,
he was locked and loaded.
But as it turns out, it was never banned. They started having this free from MSG. They put signs up. The whole thing started because someone published an article over here about how it was bad for your health and caused all sorts of health problems. And people took it as fact and ran with it because they didn't want Chinese food restaurants to catch on. So it was a whole fucking racist thing. And it turned into like this whole thing. I could have been eating MSG my whole life.
You know what? No one owns racism the way America owns racism.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Australia
was just
surprises
as
me from
bad,
time to time. You guys have some real standouts.
Yeah.
Have some real standout racist bullshit over there. That is one of them.
Yes, David.
Let's add it to the list.
When this movie started, and in the 1930s, they were sending prisoners to an island far away.
It was immediately what everyone thinks of.
Yeah. Did you think, wow,
Dave's
can't believe the French
ancestors
and the British didn't say,
in
hey,
Australia.
that island's pretty big. Let's send them our prisoners too.
It was
Were there really that many?
It was like Mayor Eric Adams.
Irish
He didn't care where it went as long as he couldn't see it anymore.
Yeah, way out of sight, out of mind for both of these, right? They both sent them across an ocean.
Well, we are going to Guyana here. All right, so we're talking about now. We have now segued into our conversation. Thanks for skipping ahead. We are a little bit drunker than we were before, and we had a good time. All you motherfuckers who skipped, fuck you guys. Just give us a good review, all right?
Toasty.
And now he's a little bit drunker, thanks to...
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Steve McQueen and a nerdy, bespectacled Dustin Hoffman, who apparently modeled his character off of Dalton Trumbo, who actually is fully credited as a writer in this, unlike when he wrote The Roman Holiday and other movies back from the 40s and 50s.
Spartacus.
Thanks to McCarthyism. Let's see. This was directed by Franklin J. Schaffner, who has 4 Emmys and might have just won an Oscar for Patton in 1971, and has pretty much his entire team from Patton and a couple other movies they did together, including the following year's movie, Towering Inferno. You have Lorenzo Steppel Jr. and Dalton Trumbo wrote the script, so not them. They didn't do Patton, but and that book was by Henri Charrière, whose nickname was Papillon, based on the tattoo of a butterfly on his chest. And the cinematographer here was Fred J. Konekamp, who also did Patton, but he won his Oscar for The Towering Inferno. And I didn't mention that William Goldman gets a contribution credit to the script. William Goldman wrote the book and the screenplay too, The Princess Bride, directed by Rob Reiner. So one more time, Rob Reiner finds his way into here. What a fucking legend. Set in an penal colony in French
Guiana. Irish penal colony, yeah.
That's for both of us, Dave. So, was this a first-time watch for both of you?
Yes.
Yep.
This is on Canopy. Dave, did it work for you? Do you have this Canopy thing figured out? Or do you have to rent it?
No, I didn't get it on Canopy. It wasn't
of course you did.
showing
you don't have
up.
Fucking Canopy, Dave. I don't know how you figured. We don't have Canopy in New York. We don't have it.
No, we have the library Canopy, not the subscription one.
Well, I want the library Canopy, but I thought the New York Public Library.
I'm going to give you. So I do have Canopy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to officially place a technical criticism on the streaming version of this movie that is available on Canopy. Sure. Just ahead of time, the preemptive.
Yeah,
preemptive critique.
You said you're criticizing.
He wasn't even waiting.
There is an audio click every 3 or 4 seconds, and it is a very low resolution audio compared to the new mastered mix that was available when I eventually went to Tubi, and then I decided to just rent it. Both of those versions sounded very different. The Canopy version was a lower quality, and it had a fucking audio click, like the.
I mean,
like a tape click.
That's the second time you've brought up a recurring click this week to me. Are you sure you're not having an episode or something?
So I thought I was having I tried everything, and I was like, let me just see if the other versions have it, and they sounded so different. So Canopy, that's too bad. You need to get.
Yeah, who do you think you are? Stars?
Yeah. Give me
they are
better
the-
stuff for free.
They are the stars.
Give me better things for free.
They're the stars of the streaming apps. Oh wait, Stars has a streaming app. Okay. Anyway, so first time watch that for all of you, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Although,
All right.
although my wife did say, "Oh, what movie are you doing?" And I told her, and she's like, "Oh, that's a good one." I'm like,
Wow.
"What?"
Oh, cool. Nice.
She probably read the. She probably read the book in
She
French and
absolutely read the book. I don't know if it was in French, but yeah,
English. Okay.
probably.
All right. Here we go. I'm going to read the IMDb description. I'm going to send it on its way. What do you think? What do you feel? No stuffy criticism. A French convict in the 1930s befriends a fellow criminal as the two of them begin serving their sentence in the South American penal colony on Devil's Island, which inspires the man to plot his escape. What'd you think? What'd you feel? Who wants to take it away? You both gave it a great. Although
go
it
first.
sounds like John was thinking it was a good great.
Yeah, I'll go first. There are moments and issues that I had throughout this movie that I thought were distracting or not that great. But overall, sure. Overall, the world, the authenticity, the scope of the storytelling and the filmmaking, and that thing that I have said before about David Fincher, and he's stealing from Hitchcock, that kind of process filmmaking where they show you like, this is what happens when somebody does this activity, and they kind of just show you a whole sequence or a whole chunk of a film will just be a very understandable activity over time or in real time. There are several sequences like that in this movie that really saved it for me, and I found them very compelling, like when his first solitary confinement, and there's some other things like that. So for me, ultimately, those attributes kept me engaged the whole time, and I really enjoyed it. And I do think it's, before we get into our little critiques, I do think it's important to say that this was a very mixed reviewed film when it came out. It was not super critically acclaimed and has gotten better over time. And, you know, for whatever reason, maybe that says something about how movies have aged over time and how people are yearning for this kind of filmmaking nowadays. And it's easier to shine positive lights on these films. Steve McQueen really surprised me. He's such a good actor. He just does so little, but so little dialogue. He can communicate so much. So I really enjoyed that. Anyway, the world, the scope, all that stuff really saved it for me. How about you, Dave?
Well, look, at first glance, like it's a period film. It's 2.5 hours. It doesn't look like it has a lot going for it. It's like, you're like, this is going to be a slog, man. And I can tell you, is it worth investing 2.5 hours in like these busy times when you don't have stuff? Yes, it is. It's nice. A compelling story. I found the camera work functional, which is not disrespect for a story like this, because if you do anything more, it'd be very distracting. But the editing is the hero here, and it really keeps the eye interested and keeps you going, and manages to cut. Like, sometimes they make you sit in the journey, sometimes they don't. And what they do with those scenes is where the magic happens for me.
No,
nice, dude.
I think so. I gave it the lowest score out of all of us. I gave it an okay, and I would say I do agree with everything you're all saying. I think it was way more slog than anything else. However, I'm definitely very happy that I saw it, and there's definitely scenes and moments and features that I'm going to remember and like about this movie. But of course, there is a plot. It is linear, and they say it in the IMDb description. He's going to get out of prison. He's planning his escape the whole time, and it starts at his sentencing, and then while he's still in France. And again, we don't have to worry about why there's no accents. This is not our first movie where it's
that
set in
bugged
France,
me, and that's why that only gets a smiley face.
Accent, a single person.
Yeah, that's why it only gets a smiley face instead of a gold star for me.
It totally doesn't matter. It's all fine. We go on the boat. We go to the prison. So it's in sequence. So I can't say there's no plot, but after an hour and 15 minutes of it, it starts to feel like there's no plot. And yes, the first bout of Solitary is great. I love the visions and stuff, especially in 1973. I don't need big tech. I don't need that kind of stuff. To be like a desert vista kind of thing is totally fine. But it's a slog. It's just a slog. That's all. I definitely spent some time thinking about other things that I wish I was watching, even though I know that I needed to see this movie and I was going to be happy to have seen it. The second half of this movie is way better than the first half of the movie for me. It's way more compelling for me, even though you obviously need the context. So if you can get through that bit,
Where
I
would
think
you
it's fantastic.
divide those two? Like, what's the midpoint for you?
I mean, Solitary
After he gets out of Solitary?
Solitary is big. I think somewhere, maybe Solitary itself, like going into Solitary, you know? And
Yeah.
if you think about it, I mean, think about how much happens from there. And it's easy because, you know, in prison versus out of prison. And we have Escape from Alcatraz. We have, we have Shawshank. We have so many good prison movies. Not that we need to comp them, but they all go well sequentially. But after a while, it's basically like, when is it that this guy died? When is it that they're doing this task they didn't want to do? When is it that they this person in the middle of the night tried to stab them? It's like that all just starts to run together for me, you know, looking back on it. I just felt like it was something I had to get through. So I'm sure at the time it was in the theater, I'm sure it's different, you know? So
let me ask you though, that I felt this personally, even though I still, I just want to ask you the question. I'm not going to give you my opinion at all. Did you really care about their characters and their relationship? Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman, the two lead characters. The way that you care
not
so much about, like, Shawshank, the characters.
No, not at all. I think not until later. When Dustin Hoffman makes,
like, when they're on Devil's Island, like that much later, like the very end, or
not quite that long.
When he gets out of Solitary.
Honestly, I think maybe when he gets out of Solitary, because even beforehand, it's good. They have the arrangement and the deal, and it's functional, so kind of in and out. But on the level of Red and shit, I already forget, and Andy in Shaw, I mean, that's, you know. That you're almost different, and they don't necessarily have to be like that, but yeah, it's a little. No, I don't care about that much. In fact, the times that we go off with Steve McQueen and don't see Dustin Hoffman, I don't really miss Dustin Hoffman, which is it's crazy to say because he was the biggest movie star in the world at the time.
No, I agree. I mean, I agree with you entirely, Dave. What did you? Yeah, what ended up like moving you to feeling like this was a good watch?
It's hard to narrow down one thing, like the fact that the pacing was both drawn out, but you didn't really feel it. I was 50 minutes into this before I realized I was 50 minutes into this. I was like, oh, how far am I in? I thought, and it was.
Is that what you said? 50? 50?
50.
Nice.
And that's pretty much where it starts to pick up. Like they set the stakes very well at the beginning, because it's like, if you try to escape, you get this. If you try to escape a second time, you get this. 3 strikes, you're out. Your head comes off. Like they said, and then of course he does end up making 3. Like he makes the first escape attempt, fails, makes the second escape attempt, fails, and then he's on the third one. You realize that the stakes have gone up every time, because he's going to get this much Solitary and this much, and like that second one, he makes it so far. I was actually distraught. I thought that was it, and then they had that moment where he gets betrayed, and I'm like, fuck, he's going back in.
And the fucking religious.
That whole sequence, you thought he was going to live forever with those indigenous Hondurans on that beach.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, me too. I was like,
that sequence is great. There's no dialogue for like 25 minutes.
Where did they go?
Awesome. Yeah.
They just didn't appear that day. That was, I mean, but also, I mean, that is stuff that would literally not be allowed to be printed today. But it seems, so here's why I appreciate this movie, even though, like I said, I'm not giving it a glowing review, but I appreciate it so much because the audacity to do that Honduras sequence, it's unspoken. They don't even try to work around the language barrier. And the way, I'm sure it's very authentic too. Just the whole thing, the audacity of that whole entire sequence is just, it was so
the minimalism of that storytelling. When she,
I don't know why he wants a tattoo. That was a little weird, but
I guess talk about that in a second. But when she is first brought to the chief by another guy, and it's so clear in the scenes right after it, because it's basically a montage, that she was either chosen or she asked to become his kind of, assimilator. She wanted to take care of him and bring him in, and there was no dialogue, and it was so clear. There was some really excellent like filmmaking storytelling. That one put me on my. Did you guys wonder how the fuck he got there? a little bit. Like those people who were hunting him were clearly told to hunt them and bring them back to the military, right? And somehow he just ends up. Is it because of his tattoo? Is it because of the Papillon, the butterfly?
It does seem that way. I mean, there's something about it. Why would the village elder want it within a day of seeing him? Just all of a sudden wants a tattoo.
It made me
in his
wonder
chest?
if there was, which that is the answer to your question. I think if that has to be true, I think for the sequence to make sense. So that's the bookend.
Or
he was brought there
those
because
colonists took the village.
Marked. Or they what?
Or those colonists took the village.
Maybe.
It's like, what bad luck though, to make it all the way from there to like Honduras. Through the fucking ocean, and you got all the other stuff.
He lived for like,
you land on the beach, you almost get busted by ice straight away.
Yeah, right away. But I thought,
dude.
I thought he drifted down the river and they rescued him because he jumps into the water. So those guys shoot those darts into him and then he falls into the water.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he wakes up on the raft. So I pictured as he went so far down water and then the indigenous tribes just like saw him and was like, who is this?
It wasn't like a rushing river though. In my head, I was like, they're totally going to get his body.
You can blame the location scout because they were not filming it.
I will not.
By the way,
I will not blame the location scout at all. The location scout did a great job.
No,
one of my pros for it is there are a few sequences that are shot in slow motion in this movie. A couple of them are surreal. A couple of them are falls, and both of the falls worked so well. I thought they were so cool in slow motion.
Steve McQueen did his first stunt for that first one.
Ah, man, I thought it was awesome. Fucking awesome. But yeah, I love that sequence. 6 weeks of paradise and then back in fucking sauce.
Yeah.
Maybe that is.
And he sees the other guy. He sees the turnkey, as they call him, and he's like making deals and shit. And he's like, what? And then all of a sudden he's hanging upside down. Again, I just love that they don't explain any of this stuff. It's like, are they going to catch him? What's going to happen? It's like, oh, you know what I didn't expect? Him to be hanging upside down, dead. I didn't expect that.
That is, yeah. I mean, that is. Again, we could. There is that short film of the Honduras sequence. That little sequence is so compelling.
Guys, there's only about 40 minutes of music in this movie for 2.5 hours, and that music was incredible during that sequence.
I mean, Jerry Goldsmith.
Dave, that was the best shot sequence,
around,
right? Like the prison stuff was good too, but they shot on location. I'm assuming. So
yeah. Well, the thing is, they were also using like Eastman 100 tungsten, so it really brings out the colors a lot.
Yeah.
Not so good for the skin tones, but it's
sure.
Like it has a definite look about it, and it's like a staple of filmmakers everywhere.
How about Steve McQueen's gray hair that was probably blonde that they thought would look grayer, but the cameras were too good?
Dude,
he was supposed to be getting gray, and I was like, it looks like he dyed his hair blonde.
Slide because of how he looked when they locked him away in darkness for the first time.
Yeah.
When he came back out of it, the makeup department fucking nailed that. He looked hideous,
dude. That whole. Yeah, that solitary sequence is, for me, that's the crown jewel.
The first one,
and with the gray hair. First of all, now we know where Christian Bale got the Batman voice. It was originated here in this movie. He fucking pulled it off. I totally bought it. It was only 5 years, but it's 5 years of that, right? So like he went in with a full head of blonde hair.
Not speaking for a week, let alone 5 years. He probably like I
oh my God,
I believe he actually just did it, right?
I just go fucking
he wasn't
insane.
resisting, right? That 5 years, like he just did it.
It's unreal. And that's Dave, that's one of the cuts that was like, for me, that's like a take your breath away kind of cut. When you realize like he's caught and then they just go straight to him being released after 5 years. And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. And then they mention it's 5 years and they're like, fuck.
Yeah, I almost thought the whole thing was a dream. I almost didn't.
They leave that part to your imagination, which really worked for me.
Because I think they did such an amazing job for the 2 year.
Yeah.
That is, I just thought the filmmaking in that was, it is not easy to shoot a location that small for a long period of time and create tension and a passage of time and, dynamics and everything. When they finally when they panel the light away and there's just that sliver of light.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Everything that happened in that sequence.
I spent all my time trying to figure out, was that a sliver of light or did they put a pinhole cap over the camera? Over the lens.
Like technically, like what did they do? Yeah, that's
because it was like
him eating
there would have been bounce on the walls and stuff. It would like, so I think they pinholed the camera and that was great.
It would have had to have been for and it was probably like a fucking 1000 kino, right? It was like really fucking bright, so it would be as hard as possible. But eating the bugs, him like choosing to like come into it for a while. I don't know. I just found that the whole sequence I found incredibly compelling. And that was also another reason why I thought that was such a good sequence is because I felt their relationship grow maybe the most in that sequence when they were away from each other, because the tension of whether or not he would tell
Yep.
that Dustin Hoffman was giving him the coconut. And, Dustin kept thinking, can you imagine the anxiety of being in prison, just waiting for the day when they come and throw you in solitary because you were giving this guy shit? I mean, and it really got me. This is such a simple storytelling thing. It's very classic. Some people may have overthought it. The first time they stick their heads out to get trimmed, and that old man beside him says, I feel okay, but how do I look? And then he's dead. And then when he does that to another person, you're just like,
dude,
oh my
so many
God,
dead bodies
so
got dragged out in the middle of the night in this film.
Yes.
Like it reminded me of a camp I went to in the 80s.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people died. And also, I do love that they set up early on that basically you can't, like, these people can help, you can have money, but you basically shouldn't trust any of them.
Yeah.
And I'm glad when you got to the boat finally, it was like, you saw that little boat, you're like, this is fucked. And when you see those two bounty hunter guys that like made it out of prison, and now they're basically bounty hunters, and they even say like, what happened to these guys? Like, they made it out of prison, now they're basically just like preying on us. I do think they did that kind of stuff. We're barely talking about the first half of the movie, but I really do think they did that well. And also,
I love that dude. The tattoo face man.
The tattoo face man was awesome. And the leper colony guys were awesome. I mean, all of that was fucking awesome. Wait, but tell me you didn't want to shout at the TV, shame. Shame.
The opening scene,
Shame.
I made a joke. I'm like, where's the person with the bell? I made that joke.
Yeah, where is that person? Yeah, exactly.
Modern TV's ruined us.
Let's celebrate more of the authenticity, since you called out the makeup for special effects makeup to show him aging and skinny and malnourished and stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody in this movie, there's no way they used makeup. For most of it, they were just spritzing them with water bottles to make sure that sweat was there, because it looked hot and gross and malaria ridden. It just would not look like that today. We all saw some of the recent Jurassic Parks, and not to pick on them, but there's a lot of movies that I feel like are set in these kinds of climates nowadays.
Yeah.
And people still look so fucking hot. Like in a sexy way, right?
The only thing that didn't work for me, I think, were the pit stains on some of the soldiers. And that one time where they're walking him around solitary for the first time and he's in the shackles, the guard in the tower had like an obvious fucking silver reflector reflecting sunlight dead on him. And it stood out like dog's balls. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's the one shot that...
Every time the warden would stand in front of his cell, those pit stains were very defined, right?
Yeah.
Like it was hot.
That's the kind of thing that would get accentuated in a scary movie parody.
Sure.
yeah, you tell.
We can't also say enough that these were two of the biggest movie stars of all time, and the fact that Steve McQueen is not an Oscar guy. I just mentioned all the Oscars. He's not nominated ever, and he had done The Blob, and he had done a million things in the '60s. By the time he finally gets to Bullet and Le Mans, and he's like his dad. He just was a full-on action star too, but Hoffman had only been in a couple things at this point. So just the fact that all these people were running to the theater to see these two greats together, and I mean, most people hadn't seen other than The Graduate in '67, Midnight Cowboy in '69. John and Mary was actually, a movie that he did that not a lot of people saw, but The Little Big Man in 1970 sounds like a terrible like kids movie, but it's actually an Arthur Penn movie that was very financially successful with him in 1970. And then Straw Dogs nobody saw, and then Papillon in 1973. Like, these are two of the hugest movie stars in the world, and what a fucking movie for them to be in. And Hoffman's role is really not that sexy, No. And so I do feel like that allure, and then you go and you get transported away. I think that people went.
Although
we've been talking about it forever. Why do movies not look real? To see something that's real, especially South America, France, like I feel like it would be very enticing for people in 1973 to go to the theater and see this and that color and all the B-roll of the sunrise through the rainforest. Basically, I feel like that was pretty cool.
I'm wondering, does Steve McQueen have it in his contract that at least one scene he has to walk into the light so his eyes can be revealed?
Oh, the eyes, yeah,
they're so beautiful.
No matter how fucking
I mean, those eyes are made for film.
Look throughout this.
His face is a perfect film face. Yeah, it is. It's not too attractive. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of lived. There's a lot of lived.
I have an active film career ahead of me.
Yeah, whereas like Paul Newman had to like dirty his face up to try to look like Steve McQueen in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I was really not shocked, as in I didn't know he was capable of it, but I knew I was expecting a lot out of this performance. I had heard that it was one of his heavier roles, and he did not disappoint. I was really, really impressed.
Did you guys see that trivia?
Yeah.
Well, he's the
Hoffman
draw,
thought
right?
Hoffman, well, he's also the bigger role, and it's also
But a
he's playing the
lot, man.
character
It was
that's
like
based on it, but
450,000 more.
750. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was 1.2 versus 2 million. I think McQueen got 2, and Dustin Hoffman was apparently really mad afterwards that he got paid more. He probably saw the movie and went, "Okay, this makes sense." But
Yeah, it's not a two-hander,
1.2
right?
to 2.
It's a,
Yeah, you're a supporting character. That's not even category.
so
for
what
it.
did you guys think of thematically? I'm just curious, like story-wise, let's just back up for a second. Do you feel like it really pulled off this theme of liberty equals, at the very least, a pursuit of freedom? Like he would never accept the concept of being totally locked away. It didn't matter what the odds were. It didn't matter if he knew he was going to die. It didn't matter if, with that last line where Dustin says, before he jumps off into the
You'll
ocean, where
die.
he says, "Please don't do this.
Oh, okay.
You're going to die." He says, "You may die," and he says, "What's the difference?"
Yeah. The thing that got me was the fact that he's like, okay, we're going to put some coconuts in a bag, jump in the water, and it'll carry us 27 miles to the shore. And then they took the time to point out how fucking desperate crazy that plan was.
Yeah.
And then he
It
did it
sounds
anyway.
like someone's desperate. He says, yes, dude.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed, I'm going to hold off on the very end for a second, but I really enjoyed the Devil's Island sequence, which is this little coda thing at the end where our love story is complete. These guys are back together again, living next door on this desolate island, and they're
left his wife for
truly
him.
trapped in fucking paradise, in a sense, right? Hoffman left his wife, yeah. That little exchange, yeah. She married him, or he married her. What's the difference?
It's so hypothetical.
Yeah.
Would she give all of her money for you? Yep. Run away with me. Sorry.
Did you guys like, and this is not about acting and whether or not he pulled it off. Did you like it's on the page and it's certainly in the direction, the choice for Hoffman's character to have been that mentally off at that point?
Yeah.
He was not who he was the last time we saw him. He had been shaken up and he did not seem, he just did not seem like he had all his marbles.
He's like anyone. You live in a house on an island with no one to talk to, you start getting a little paranoid, like in a threatening environment.
Yeah, he was mean to those pigs. He was slapping those pigs around.
Well, it felt really justified to me because he was an affluent bookworm. You know,
white collar criminal.
Take your average accountant and put him on a Honduran farm for 5 years or whatever. Like, it wasn't that long, but it's like, who are they? The madman thing. Who am I without my job? Right? It's like he was this weird bookworm nerd numbers guy who did white collar crime, and now he's raising pigs. Like, what? Yeah, I mean, I think Hoffman. I think he did his homework, and he said, "Yeah, this is what would happen if Dalton Trumbo moved to a farm in Honduras."
Well, it made me think. Not that we have to go there, but let's reflect for a second. If these are both the leads of this movie, and I think the theme that is driving this is, what does it mean to be free? And
it means you leave somebody the second they get injured. Every single time somebody gets injured, they're like, "Bye, fucker."
Well, I mean, you got to, right? But what does Hoffman mean as a foil to
I don't know.
to the lead, the protagonist of I'm going to do whatever it takes? And Hoffman is basically, he's found a little bit of tranquility on that island by himself.
That's the thing, right? I like that. Like, every character in this has their own distinct set of motivations.
Version of that.
Yeah. Like he doesn't want to escape. Then something goes wrong and he finds he has to.
Yeah.
Then that doesn't work out.
So great.
So he resigns himself to, you know what? I'm good with this. Everything in my life is gone. I'm just going to live this out.
That's so great. Tell me you don't want that Pufta guy to be your doctor. No anesthesia. He just knocks him out, resets his broken bone, and then Hoffman wakes up and goes, "Where was I?" It's like,
what did they do to him?
I thought you were talking about the actual doctor. I was like, dude, that X-ray did not look fucking safe.
That's right.
No, it didn't. I loved that scene, but I thought the dialogue in that was A+ from Dalton. At the very end, that last line, and I would accept that gratefully when he says, "If you screw me over, I'm going to kill you."
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, "Please do."
Yeah.
I killed my entire fucking family and I don't want to be alive anymore. Awful. Terrible. Okay. So now I'm going to go for the, I love endings. Very important to me. For me, the theme was undercut by that voiceover. telling me
Yeah, I don't need the voiceover.
that Papillon made it. The whole point was it doesn't matter if he makes it. He's going to go for it.
Yeah,
I
mean,
but he wrote the book though. He wrote the book. I feel like they had a challenge where they didn't talk about the fact that this guy wrote this book. I feel like they were like, go buy the book.
I feel like they could have just left him floating at sea and left it ambiguous, and that would have also worked.
For sure, right? I like that. I mean, in the last line, even though it's a little cheesy, but I swallowed it fine. I'm still here, you bastards. Like, he's out there in the fucking abyss making his 24-mile float. And God damn it, I was like, wow, that's a way to end a movie. That's brave. And then I guarantee you the studio was like, no, we need a happy ending.
Yeah.
No, I feel
Tell
like both
them
of
he
those,
made it.
It's 2.5 hours. All the theater goers are going to be stoned by now.
I think that was both of those lines, which had an audience of one, who is the author of the book, who probably wasn't even. No, he was he still alive by this? I'll look it up. But
he died the year after this was finished.
Okay. I think, he
never got to see it.
It says, like, the girl in red is like, this is real. This really happened. I feel like that's them trying to say, like, by the way, this isn't fiction. Like, this is literally real. This really happened. He lived. Go buy the book. Like, we made a true story, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still feel like marketing-wise.
I feel like they had to ham-bone it in there. That's what I think.
No, fuck that. Marketing-wise, the way, especially with how much
it would
presence.
be a better film if they did it, for sure.
And it would have been better for marketing.
Well, and the
they would have
remake,
been
which
like,
I didn't
did
see,
he make it? And you would have been like, well, the author lived, didn't he? So
the little I know about the remake with Charlie
audience
Hunnam is like, they did say, like, this is your story? They do that kind of shit. And it's like, yeah, it's his fucking story. We know it's his story.
I heard the remake did not do well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Charlie Hunnam and Rami Malek.
Was it Rami? I don't know. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he played the Hoffman.
Dude, there's a couple of things I want to point out. At first, I had trouble figuring out that this was starting in French because of the lack of accents, obviously, and there was nothing really to point to French or whatever it was I missed.
Gee, so why did you miss that, Dave?
Yeah. And but the welcome speech when he got to the penal colony, where the guy stands up and like welcomes to the penal colony and then shows off the guillotine, is such a fucking French move. I was like, this is a French colony straight away. It's like, yeah,
game over. And I love the repeat of that in the background.
Yeah,
Dustin,
exactly the same speech, like years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, too, I know I've said this before with like war movies and stuff, but oh my God, you guys, just the authenticity was so good that it really, when you would really allow yourself to imagine being one of these men, terrifying, dude. And I know they're criminals. Of course they are. I know it's prison, but oh my God, the life that they lived, what they were put through to be dragged out of bed one day and as a dead corpse, basically. That was like all of their fate.
Or, years of solitary, where on good authority, masturbate as little as possible. It drains the strength.
What a great! I thought that was going to be Jeff's.
Yeah, me too. I thought that was going to be his dig at me first.
How is that not the dig, Jeff? When you come back, I want to know.
And also, it doesn't. But
it gives you strength. How about the scene where they actually are in the water with a fucking alligator?
Dude, that fucking croc scene was perilous.
They must have tied the mouth because the croc never opened its mouth.
No, it did.
Did it?
Yeah.
I thought it kept its mouth closed.
It was hissing at him and opened the mouth and everything. It was, I think its legs were secured, its back legs were secured, so it could only spin. It couldn't, lunge. Otherwise, they get net.
What is with 1973? Because in Live and Let Die, you also had that fucking alligator sequence where he has to jump all over the gators.
It carried through into the 80s, man. Romancing the Stone had a whole thing.
Dave, I'm so glad you knew how that croc was secured. Of course, you had just on instinct.
At first, I saw it moving around. And I'm like, that's really fucking dangerous.
That's a fucking real.
Yeah.
Is that the head? You get the head. I'll get the tail.
Also, if you're Dustin Hoffman,
crazy
you're like,
sequence.
What the fuck?
They're like, we want you to walk around in this.
We're partners because I'm rich, not because I can take that a fucking croc.
Imagine, I want you to walk around in this knee-deep water with this croc. Okay, you fucking go first. You get in there and you show me it's safe before I set foot in that water.
Unreal, you guys. I also, and this was something it doesn't really matter. Like, they said a year at some point, and I knew they said Dustin's crime took place in 1928, but I don't think I knew exactly when this was taking place. And
it just says
it didn't matter.
Blurb, Yeah, right,
Yeah,
right,
just like 30s. Like I was like, is this wartime? Is there any relationship to the war or what's happening in France and Germany? And that wasn't the point of the story. It just didn't matter, right? These penal colonies existed for pretty much every single sovereign or majority nation. There was a successful nation in Europe at the time. They all had
I think it was
penal colonies
after World War
everywhere.
One because
they're
it was
not even on your country anymore. Or in England's case, they're not even on your. You're like they are so far on the other side of the world.
It's a penal colony. It's in the fucking word.
Just,
right?
just
It's
the fact that if like no murderers amongst you, they're in Australia. It's like it's amazing.
Yeah. Actually, they were sending people to Australia for stealing loaves of bread. So,
guys, careful. We're getting a little close to Trump's perspective here, right?
Ah.
That is his.
Sending people to where they
what
don't
he
deserve.
is.
Yeah, what if Jean Valjean was sent to Papua New Guinea? Or sorry, not Papua New Guinea. Shit, to French Guyana.
French Guyana.
That's me for my drunk geography.
Super fucked up. Also, for killing a pimp.
Yeah, right.
Some weird,
it's a
weird morals they got going on there over there in France at the time. Don't you kill our pimps?
Yeah, you have to kill a pimp. They're dead inside already.
Hey, they're not saints. They're just processors.
I did like
that.
I want to say,
speech. Great scene,
dude.
It's right behind me.
The locations, like they don't do that anymore. Like just the fact it was so populated.
Where? What are you talking about?
When they're first marching them onto the island, and like they've panned, like the camera does the pan down from like the bench with all the ladies of the night, I guess, down to like everyone walking past and everything. But there's just people everywhere. Like there's you just don't get that populated scenery very much anymore. It's either a big crowd scene where like they don't have to direct anyone. It's like just walk, or But this was a distinct community.
And I loved when you're dealing with places and locations like that. A lot of this stuff felt like it was shot on like 50, somewhere between like 30 and 50. Like there weren't super long lenses. The backgrounds were in focus. And you could see the scope of everywhere they were. I just thought it was.
I mean, they're shooting in daylight, so they're probably iris the fuck down without NDs. So.
Right.
Yeah. It elevated all of it though, right? Like you felt like that juxtaposition that I kept thinking about, and of course there was malaria. Tropical doesn't mean paradise, but this isn't some hellhole in Siberia, right? Like this is a beautiful island. And Honduras, where he escaped to, like they gave you that he literally had like 6 weeks of paradise, and then it was taken away from him. And he was taken back to this terrible place. I loved the end credits montage of what that place looks like for real. The ruins of it. That was emotional. I was like, I leaned forward with that. I was like, oh my God, like it's still there.
Yeah.
And he outlived it, whatever that sentence was. He outlived the penal colony, like being a thing. Really fucked up, man. Just another criminals. I'm not vindicating why these people were being held accountable by their society, but the way that they were treated, we've come a long way.
Yeah, that was fucking brutal. And I like they didn't scrimp on the brutal as well. Even if the blood was like paint red.
They didn't scrimp. They went after it. They went at it.
Yep. Dude,
didn't they shoot that one dude because he couldn't pull the tree anymore? Didn't they just fucking shoot him?
Yeah.
When they're in the boat.
They mentioned service camps and work camps and things, and this is set in the 30s, but they laid that on pretty thick.
Yeah, when they're in the boat and he's busted his ankle and then he touches it and sniffs it, I was like, oh, fuck, that foot's coming off. I thought they were going to take his
almonds.
foot.
Oh, yeah.
It's beginning to smell of almonds. I'm still alive.
But no, they went the other route. They didn't take the foot.
Well, I'm just glad that
I still think
Steve McQueen, who made The Great Escape, did another escape movie here, and it's pretty great.
It is pretty great. Yeah. And the more we watch him, you guys, we've now done Bullet. We've done this. We've seen The Great Escape. And did we do another one with him? I 1000% get why he was box office solid gold. He is so easy to watch.
I think I like him best in this.
Damian Lewis looks like him.
Yeah.
I think it's just those three. This is, Great Escape's, it's hard to, Great Escape is him doing Newman, basically. He's like, he becomes the Paul Newman. Yeah, I guess it's similar. They overlap, of course, but like.
Yeah. I don't know. I've also heard just in my obsession with film history and everything. I've heard interviews from so many filmmakers around the world who like Steve McQueen is their guy. They love how much he can do with just looks and how famous he was for removing dialogue from scripts and just Benicio del Toroing it. He's our contemporary version of that. Just like, I'm going to say as little as humanly possible.
Yeah.
And there's just something innately compelling about people who communicate a lot emotionally.
Dude,
with their eyes, their face, their actions.
I'll take that and actors that can hit their mark when the camera's spinning as they are.
Okay, DP. Okay, DP. I just think it's
we
crazy.
didn't talk about...
Because Paul Newman, I'm just going to use him as a comp because they both look kind of similar. Paul Newman has 10 Oscar nominations and 1 win, and Steve McQueen has none.
That's crazy.
It's a fucking travesty.
Yeah, that's crazy. But he made more... See, Paul Newman made way more movies, and those kinds of movies were not like this. Like, this was one of the only, like, serious movies that McQueen made. Yeah. Right? A lot of them were more, like, action-adventure-y or crime.
But also, compare how many Hollywood wives Paul Newman banged compared to Steve McQueen.
Come on.
He probably pissed off.
Was this in the period?
He probably pissed off a lot of people.
Was this in the period where Steve McQueen was with Ally McGraw while she was still married to Bob Evans?
I think so.
Or with Bob Evans?
I think it was, yeah.
When you find out that your wife is having an affair with Steve McQueen, you yield. Yeah. That's what you do. You don't stand a chance.
You say fuck. Wait, 1973.
It's been nice knowing you.
1973 was the first
Good
year
for you. Good for you.
1973 was the first year that vodka sales outdid whiskey sales. So you definitely said, give me a vodka. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to be a part of the new generation.
Really incredible. All right, one last comment, just because very, very quickly. There are a few kind of out of nowhere surreal sequences in this movie. I liked them. I thought they were awesome. My favorite one was
Lawrence
the second
Arabia
one.
shot where they like they did the split lens thing where like they're in the desert and it's like there's clearly like, you know what I'm talking about? They're like, it felt like it was
sentencing.
deserty. Yeah, the sentencing thing.
It was during his solitary sequence.
I felt like it was the Omar Sharif shot.
Yeah, that was cool. My favorite one.
They used a diopter in that? I didn't notice.
I didn't notice that either, actually.
I'm exaggerating, but it just looked like they're in the desert. And it looks like they wanted that where it's like, you can almost, it almost looks like a mirage, even though it's real, because it almost looks like it's layered. Like
okay.
It was deep focus, though.
That's forgetting my
favorite one was the second one.
Fuck you.
My favorite one was the second one when he is approaching. He's been hungry. He's been half rationed, right? He won't reveal Dustin's name. And he's just walking down that alley, like the Tuileries of trees around him. And he sees the two people that were inmates who already died. And the camera like is on a crane or whatever. Dave and I were talking, we're guessing of how they did this. And they fucking flipped the camera upside down. That was such an effective sequence for me. I thought that was so cool.
I didn't look that up because I kind of got caught up in the rest of the movie and I wanted to, but I need to find out how that was done in 73.
Imagine being in the theater in 73. You just saw 2001 a couple years earlier and it's just upside down and completely still. Yeah, I'm with you.
It was really effective.
The sentencing was great. You are guilty of having a useless life, a meaningless life, and he just goes guilty.
A wasted life.
And he just goes guilty.
Guilty. And he walks away. And the makeup, again, when it finally reverses, as he's walking forward, the camera goes up or comes down and flips. And then when it cuts back to them and shows you the reverse shot, they're dead.
Yeah.
And they weren't dead before. And they have that. And then it cuts back to him and he has the mascara and the white. And it's obvious makeup. It's obvious special effects makeup. It's indicative on purpose. It worked though. I totally believed it. It was so good.
Fuck my sneezes. Okay.
All right. So are we hanging? Are we hanging true,
I'm hanging.
Jeff?
I know I should upgrade, but I'm not going to. Fuck you guys.
No, it's fun. It's fun.
I'm very happy.
Would you tell somebody who likes movies that they should watch? Yeah, you would say, yeah, you should watch it.
I'm not talking about it all the time. I'm gonna be like, oh my god, well, if you like Steve McQueen, you got to see Papillon. You got to.
Yeah.
No, but you're at a bar, and people they're movie watchers, and they're like, I haven't seen it. Are you going to say, eh? Or are you going to be like, yeah, you should watch it? I didn't love it, but you should watch it. It's good enough to watch.
Caveats for this. There are good movies that I'm going to speak about, or there are movies that I would say good to that I'm going to speak about never, where I'm going to shit on more than this. And this movie I'm giving you an okay that I know is a better made movie than most movies.
Okay. There you go. You heard it here, folks. Better made movie than most movies.
Dave is smirking and he says, there's so many things I want to say, but I also want to end this fucking segment.
Yes.
I can see it right across his eyes.
I ran out of beer.
It's only 10:05.
Just like last week, Dave.
Well,
All right.
last week I clocked 33 buzzes and you got like 5. So
Yeah, you were very trigger happy last week, Jeff. You were tipsy turvy. Oh, come on.
See you next week.
Moving
All
on.
right.
Let's do it. We did it.
Dave, you ready to spin next week so we can? Well, wait, not next week. I don't know when I'm seeing you guys again. It's at least 2 weeks.
yeah,
It's probably 2
The
weeks.
next show.
yeah, next
Whatever the
show,
next
which
show
which
is.
will most likely be in the new year.
It'd be
Happy
very quickly
holidays,
in
you
the new year.
cunts.
January 3rd. You
Yeah.
cunts. You motherfuckers. Happy holidays, you guys. I'm guessing 1935.
I'm guessing 1994.
Okay.
What a year.
Here
People
we
one of the
go.
best film years of all time. Let's see what we got. We're doing Shawshank Redemption if it's 1994 for sure. 60.
Ooh,
Right on the
60.
dot. 60. Let's do it.
1960. That's always annoying when I have to Google fucking facts and stuff because it's like the 60s. No, just
Yeah.
1960.
Technically the end
Yeah.
of the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you put that? 1 through 10, 0 through 9. Ugh. Anyway, we're gonna head into what you've been watching. We're not gonna Google movies, people. We're gonna tell you at the very end of this episode what we're doing next week. So stick around. But Dave, we like to start with you to give you our recommendations. What you've been watching?
Well, dude, I'm not up to date with the last episode of Derry yet, but was I talking about the second last episode last week? Because holy fuck, that might be one of the best episodes of television I've seen in a long time.
I don't remember.
Wow.
And
I
I'm
I
like
don't remember the names of
it
the
was
fucking movies we're doing.
it was directed by the guy who made the movies, and it was just spectacular.
Oh,
Excellent.
I've also
Nice.
watched The Witcher, and I was kind of like this is the season that's out now with the replacement guy filling in for Cavill, and I was sort of on board. Takes a bit of a quality hit in the first couple of episodes. Then they do this one episode where they're sitting around a fire talking about their backstories, and it's 3 different types of fucking mixed media to tell their backstories. They go animation. It's fucking phenomenal. Like it's one of the best
Wow.
episodes of The Witcher I've seen.
wow.
This is season 3
4.
of The Witcher? 4?
Yeah.
Cool.
I actually just finished
All right,
watching the last episode of the season, just before the show.
Nice.
Mm.
We have watched a couple holiday movies, Home Alone and fuck. we watched one of the other
Christmas
staples.
of the Cranks.
And
The
I-
Ref.
You-
The Ref.
God,
So basically,
yeah,
you're
we did
watching a
remember
murder or 2 murders.
dude, we did. Motherfucker, we did watch one of the other ones. What was it? Anyway.
Krampus.
And then we watched, we are still plowing through and catching up on all of Righteous Gemstones and laughing a lot. That show is very funny. Very good. Anyway, that's what we've been doing. So I'm kind of going back and forth between holiday movies this time of year, December 15th, we're recording this, and Righteous Gemstones. Jeffrey.
I'm trying to think. I can't spell gemstones. I'm trying to write this for our fucking people listening. Okay, I feel like I was trying to catch up on shit I didn't finish, so I went back to Peacemaker and Slow Horses because I technically hadn't finished them from the past, and they're great. I feel like Slow Horses though knows they're renewed for another season, and they picked one of those books where they were like, we're gonna take a couple risks and we're gonna give Gary Oldman a great season, but we're also gonna make some choices that are gonna. So it's like there's a lot of really good things about it, and then there's a couple choices that are like, fuck, man, that's tough. So, but I just love Slow Horses, and Peacemaker's great too. And I'm sure I saw a movie and I just can't fucking remember anything. I
You
can't.
guys haven't been watching any holiday movies? You're not doing it yet? No
Gremlins.
Christmas movies?
Christmas Vacation's coming up soon.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Nice.
You did Gremlins?
Good for you.
Gremlins and Gremlins
already-
2 is coming because I bought them. So
I'm gonna start writing these down for next time for sure.
Yeah, we got to watch them.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
watching them. It's like a handful
me
each
too.
year.
Me too. I also watched
Yeah.
football. I went to the Giants game yesterday. It was fucking miserable, terrible.
I
yeah.
think I'm going to go to that theater I said I love so much here, the Egyptian, one of the old Grauman
Mhm.
theaters, and see It's a Wonderful Life this weekend, which I'm very excited about.
Ooh.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm sure it's showing somewhere at the Film Forum or something down there. You guys should go see it.
Oh yeah,
looks so
yeah.
good.
It'll be showing
Oh,
somewhere.
you know what I watched? I watched the Taylor Swift behind the scenes of her tour, and honestly, it's great. And my parents watched it. We didn't even know. We talked about it. It was great. It's on Disney Plus.
Cool.
So, yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. We're gonna talk about movies from 1960 that we're gonna do, and we're gonna tell you in 10 seconds. Listen to some Dasein, people. We're keeping this under an hour and a half. Under an hour and a half. Let's go. Listen to some Dasein.
right, and we're back.
And we're back.
We're back.
All right. We have finally decided on a 1960
God, that was hard.
film. That was not The Apartment, which we've already talked about in the past, and not Psycho, which we've already talked about in the past. And let's be honest, that's low-hanging fruit for our 299th episode, which is our next episode. So, John, why don't you tell the people what we're talking about?
We are going to be doing Michael Powell's of Powell and Pressburger. We are doing Michael Powell's Peeping Tom, which is like a crime thriller from 1960. So none of us have ever seen it, so it should be awesome.
And I haven't been charged with it twice.
Oh, God,
And both of you, whatever. And it's available on Canopy and Tubi and available for rent if you haven't seen it yet. Peeping Tom, 1960, 299th episode that we did together. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I can't fucking believe that. That's unbelievable.
None of us can donate a little bit of science anymore.
That's it? 300 is it? That's the number. Okay. I'll keep you under an hour and a half. That's it. Listen to some DOS sign as we play out. We got to go. Hour and a half. That's our limit. See you guys. Bye.